Hold up, me and Charlie Pitt. Good.
We'll start with a brief opening statement from Coach. After that, we'll come around and take questions. Just raise your hand and we'll come to you with the mic. Coach?
Good afternoon, everybody. Excited about this week. We get a chance to play against Notre Dame, top 10 team in the country. Really good football staff, great coach, Coach Freeman. I consider Coach Freeman a friend. I think he's a really good dude, good person, football coach, father, just everything you could possibly ask for in a man. I think he does a really good job at it. Coach, the offensive coordinator, Coach Mike, I think he does a good job. Coach Ash, who I got to know and from before, I thought he did a really good job. I think he's doing a really good job as a coordinator. He did a really good job last year, NFL, and then getting a chance to come back. And then their special teams coordinator, Coach Marty, I think he does well too. I like their quarterback, C.J. Carr. He's a really good football player. Poised, doesn't get pressured at all. Like, he just plays really calm and cool. The pressure a lot seems to be. I think they got two of the better running backs in the country, Love and then Price. It don't really matter which one in. I told our guys a little while ago, he was talking about Love, and I was like, he's nobody's backup. Like, this kid is bona fide, legit football player. From a receiver perspective, Faison and 0, 9, all of those guys, 2, 11, I think they all can play ball. On the defensive side of the ball, of course, I know Don Schuler. I always thought he was a good football player from high school, and getting a chance to see him now, and Moore, Snead. They just got a lot of really good football players. I think their defensive line plays really well together. Number 5 is one of the best players in college football, if you ask me, the things that he can do, and how electrifying he is from a defensive, off that D-line and coming after the quarterback. Thought he played really well, and I'm excited to actually play against him. Thankful for the opportunity to go and play against him. Our guys get to go out and compete. It's going to be pretty fun. A good atmosphere going there, being a chance to go up to South Bend and get a chance to play ball. I'm excited about it.
We'll open up for questions. We'll start over here with Dan.
Coach, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Doing well. The bye week, obviously, coaches are going to use that to assess some things, give the guys a moment to breathe, to kind of think some things through. What did you take away from the bye week beyond practice, beyond simply looking at film? How did you utilize this leadership-wise to take a team that's gone through a lot of adversity and to get them all back collectively moving in the same direction?
I did some things team-wise and coaching-wise that I thought was needed to be able to finish out the last year. First and foremost, for like a lot of our seniors, they played a lot of ball, so I gave them some time off a little bit. They would have to be here at everything, but just from a practice standpoint, things of that nature, we took care of their bodies. We made sure that the seniors had the opportunity of being in treatment and ice tub, cold tubs, treatment, just all the things that were needed for them to be able to do. A lot of those guys got thousands and thousands of snaps. So we wanted to give them the opportunity, and then at the end of every day, we were able to walk through some stuff with them, so then that way they're ready for the game plan when it's time to go out and compete against Notre Dame. I took advantage of the off week of using it as a bye due to the fact of us not having bowl practices. So we took advantage of that with all of our young football players, just to have a chance to see and look at the team for what it'll be next year. Minus Steve, because he's not able to practice, but he was there. You were able to feel and understand and know his leadership. So I took advantage of that right there. And then from a coaching perspective, I did a little activity of something that I wanted to figure out just everybody's thoughts on just who we are and what we're about and where we are right now. And think of some ways that you can make changes and things, because everybody has an opinion, right? So being able to get everyone's opinion and see how those opinions are, and I was able to take those opinions and look at them, and some things I was able to use, some I didn't use, but that's what I did, and been able to spend some time with my sons, honestly, my wife and My wife, they left for a couple of days, a little bit, to go take care of some family stuff. But I was able to spend some time with my sons and just talk to my sons and get to be a dad on Saturday, right? After we got done practice, I was able to go and just hang with my family. Wife came back, able to go and just sit down and have dinner with my family and talk to them about just life and things that I don't get to always do on a Saturday. That was pretty cool to be able to do that.
And then as far as knowing that this is not going to be a bowl season, you're not going to get those extra practices, that extra time with your team, just how you're evaluating this season. I know you keep talking about building toward the future and what this is going to be toward the future, but the buy-in for the guys, the last couple games for the seniors, to keep them focused and keep them locked in, knowing that you are building toward the future, but some of these guys are going to be playing their last snaps here in the last couple of weeks.
They understand and they know that we're going to finish out the right way for them. It's important that we do that. Most of the guys, a few that I got to bring in through the portal, but most of them I wasn't the one that actually got to recruit them, but I made sure that they understood and know that I had an opportunity of keeping them here, and we chose to do that, and we all chose to be here together. So we want to go out the right way with those guys. Then for the young guys, they know they got to play. Like last week, if you look at the game, we went through it. There were 20 freshmen that got like meaningful time in the football game, right? That were able to play. I think out of those 20 freshmen, 17 were true. The other ones were redshirt freshmen. And then there was a lot of other guys that got to play when you just go into the sophomore class. So it's promising, and giving them a chance to see that, letting them understand and know, like, look how many guys are playing. Look what happened for the future. So, we're building the program, right? Last year, and this is the best way to say it, why everyone's excited about it and still going. Last year I was able to bring in a lot of strong senior leadership. I brought a lot of guys that I already had prior relationships. Some great senior leadership was able to come in. First off, starting off with the quarterback, Fidel Diggs, and then they had some guys here that were like very, very tough. Like I told you guys, I always consider LeQuint one of the toughest football players I've ever coached. But you had Marlo Wax, you had Justin Barron, then you got Rondé Gaddison, who's just a workaholic. I was able to have Jackson Meeks come over. So when you lose those guys and all that stuff, like all those guys of that nature, the sophomores are still watching them, the guys I brought in. This is what you want it to look like, right? The freshmen that are coming in, you guys seen who left and where it was at. This is why we wanted to look. We just kind of be able to build it. This is the kind of the down year, in my opinion. Just being down, especially after losing the quarterback. I feel it would have been opposite with the quarterback. And a lot of times you want to make excuses for why. Why we lost so many games, it's never acceptable. But I'm learning so much about being a football coach. I'm learning so much about our football team, our program, coaching staff, players. There's a lot of change that'll be made. There's a lot of things that will happen, and I'm very thankful for it, to be honest with you. I couldn't put it any other way. I wish that we were playing for the community. Right? I think that our community, our fan base, the alumni, they always deserve to be in a bowl game. But when you're able to sit back and really analyze everything, like, see, I get to do this with Dwight Freeney because he's on the staff with us, and we talk and we go through things, and he's played at the highest level, so he understands the game and knows, like, hey, this is a blessing in disguise. But next year, we got to come out and do what's needed for us to do. So I'm very thankful about everything that's going on.
Go to Chris in front.
Fran, how do you assess how the two coordinators, Jeff and Elijah, have done this year?
I'll finish that at the end of the season.
Do you know if they'll be back next season?
Yeah, they'll both be here next year.
Okay.
We'll go to Zach and Aiden in the front, John.
Fran, what's been the biggest, challenge during this skid, and have you tried to keep your team motivated during the losing streak?
I come to work every day. I'm always motivated. I push. Like, if you watch practice, you wouldn't see a difference in practice, right? You can't tell if we were 7-3 and not the opposite way, right? So that for me is always being done the right way. I'm always pushing, always set up. As we started to lose, man, just tell you, like I'm human, right? So some of the things I did was try to do everything on my own. And I'm not saying I didn't try to use the coaching staff and things like that. For me, I'm always using the God, using the man above, and going to him with all the answers and just asking and doing everything. I feel like throughout October, I was just, dang, this can't happen. I got to fix this. I got to. And in November, I got a text from a friend of mine named Bruce Lee. We real close. We played college ball together. And he's like, I know how you feel, and I remember you in college, but you need to listen to this song. And he sent me a pretty cool church song that I listened to. And shit, it had me crying. I actually got on my hands and knees and just started praying. And just different answers came, right? There was different things that come about. That's how I was able to do a couple different activities with our staff. I was able to do some things with our players. And just being able to move on, right? Like being at peace and understanding that I got to always try to use the man above to be able to help me, to be able to get through situations that may be tough, right? That's why it's always 2 sets of footprints in that sand and not one, right? And then when it is one, I better make sure that I'm counting on him and not being myself. So for me, I'm very thankful for all the opportunities and everything that I got to go through. Man, I can't stand losing. Like, I hate losing. But sometimes you got to lose to be able to move ahead. Sometimes you got to lose to be able to go forward. And honestly, for myself, that was happening throughout most of my life, right? From being as though where I was born and raised, the circumstances that I was born and raised under, and then for me to still be the head football coach, there was a lot of obstacles I had to overcome and push through and grind at, and I just had to really sit back and be able to remember that. And I think it's going to make me a better coach going for the future. I'll be able to coach the players better. I'll be able to coach the coaches better, and I think that our fan base, or the alum and everybody here, they're going to have the coach that they deserve and that they need throughout the rest of my career here, just being a football coach at Syracuse University.
You talked about earlier you got to do some things kind of with your family during the bye week that you might not have before. I know you've had Fran Jr. kind of alongside you this year at Syracuse. How important has he been for you kind of this year, and what has that relationship been like this year?
With my son being here?
Yeah, with your son being here.
I mean, it's good because I get the opportunity to raise my son. You know, usually they're on other football programs and teams, so I know everything that I talk to every single player about, when he sits in that seat up there and I'm talking to all of them, I'm telling them the same thing that I'll tell my son. So everything that I'm telling them is legit information. It's from the heart. It's motivating them to go be the best versions of themselves, to be able to lock in. So him being here just reassures that I'm doing it the right way, that the message is right, that the message is correct, because I'm coaching my son, but I'm also coaching his friends. Right, these are his teammates. He's gonna be with them forever. So I got to do everything the right way, or I can mess up his future teammates and his friends and the relationships that he's supposed to have for the rest of his life. So I don't take that lightly that he's on our team, and I'm very thankful he's on the team. But he just reminds me that I am doing it the right way.
Okay, a question from Aiden, and then we'll have him pass it back to Maddie in the second row.
Yeah, Coach, just looking at Notre Dame, you mentioned about Jeremiah Love. Just from watching his film, what makes him so effective in challenging stuff?
He go north and south really fast. He's he's just fast. You know, he's super fast, like a gazelle. He can hit it. He goes 0 to 60 really, really fast. And he's not afraid of contact either. I like the fact that he runs behind his pads. He's a good running back.
Yeah, and just, there's been a lot of talk about the offensive struggles this year, but just how would you assess your defense through 10 games?
We're going up and down. Yeah, I would say we've been up and down. We got to be a little bit more consistent throughout the game. I think you can watch some games and you can see us doing really, really well. And then there's a few plays that you don't want, that you wish you can get back. So I would just say up and down.
Pass it right back to Maddie for me, and then we'll go to Brent in the front row.
Fran, looking at Ricky's performance against Miami and then Joe coming in and able to score a touchdown, taking that into the bye week, have you determined if there's going to be a starter switch up at Notre Dame, or is it still going to be an ongoing quarterback competition this week?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be like Joe. Joe's going to play this week. Like, Joe's a guy to go in at quarterback, and I'm thinking Luke could probably get some time this week also, Joe and Luke, and then the last week we'll figure out the best way for us due to the fact of I want Luke to be able to redshirt. So, like, Luke may play this week or he may play next week. Not really sure, but it seems like Joe right now. We'll find out because today is the first we get to practice again, right? But last week was kind of Saturday was when everyone was there, all of the guys. So we'll see how it goes today. But I feel like Joe should go in because of being able to go down and put some points on the board. First time we had a touchdown in some weeks. So, I mean, it sucks saying that, but yeah. So I feel like Joe.
We'll go to Brent in front, and then WABR in the third row.
Fran, when you were seeking opinions from your players, as you mentioned during the
When I was who?
When you were seeking opinions from the players, you mentioned you were having some conversations with your players during the bye week.
I never said I was seeking opinions from the players. I said the coaching staff. We did a little thing that we did with the coaching staff, and they asked some stuff.
What were some of those opinions that cut through to you to
that's
not only plan for the rest of the year? But
Yeah, that's kind of personal. I can't give you that information out about what we talked about and what we done. I'm just telling you that we did an exercise that was good, but there was nothing. It was just continue to have fun, coach. Be yourself. I could tell you those were some of the things. Be yourself. Trust your gut. Usually when you go against what you think doesn't work for us. Just really that. I'm trying to think of all like the common thing that was consistently going on. That was mainly the common piece.
So let me ask then, did you take the opportunity to the bye week to affirm some confirmations from some players about returning next year and what their plans are with everything going on once the season ends?
Not really. There's some things we handle and things that was naturally done, but I'll handle that mostly when the season's done. I mean, you know who you are. You know if you're fit, if this is the fit. Like, this isn't like they're not little kids. These are mature young men, and I'm telling them the biggest advocate for them is them. I teach them that, and I make sure they understand that, so they know how to come and speak to me as men, and I know how to talk to them as a man. But right now, that isn't where we are. We talk about mental toughness to be where your feet are, so we're not really focused on that piece of it. There are some guys that I know will possibly go into the portal. There's some guys that are going to go by their choice, and there'll be some that'll go on my choice, right? Just for the betterment of our program and then for them, so that way they can have the right mental and being able to go feel and be successful. Sometimes new starts help people, right? And there's some things that will happen that way. There'll be every team in the country will have some guys leave, players and coaches alike. So I'm just praying, and I'm just going to use the man above. I'm going to use the staff as much as I can to make sure that we get the team that we need at the end of that portal, that we got the guys that we need to go out and compete to win the ACC conference and the national championship.
Go to WADR and back, and we'll take two more.
Coach, knowing that there won't be a bowl game after the season, how does that change the way that you operate these last few weeks of the year, knowing that you won't have that extra time with your team?
We got operated the same way. I just get to focus a little bit more on the academic piece. I think that we got to pick it up academically right now. That's something that I spoke with the guys about during the bye week of what we were looking for, being able to pick it up academically, being able to lock in and move on, because there are guys that's going to want to transfer and that want to go, and I want to make sure they are academically eligible, because you can't transfer being ineligible, right? And I want to make sure those things are done right. I just want everybody to be in the right space, the right mind space, and the right mental, so that way when January hits, everybody can make a good decision with a clear mind. And you don't have to worry about, I got to stay, right? Or, dang, getting rid of this kid wouldn't be fair because he's not eligible. So I'm speaking to everybody about everything. So when I decide to make that decision, or they decide to make that decision, everything's been on the table the entire time, and there's nothing all of a sudden you're doing this. Just kind of is what it is.
And then last two, we'll go Javon in front. Gianna, if you want to bring the mic over, and then finish with Timmy on the end.
Fran, through 2 weeks, what have you seen on the offensive side of the ball in terms of how things have played out since your shake-up on the staff, and how the routine and everything is going for them?
I feel like they were all professionals, so everything's working itself out. Sometimes anything you say, right, it could always come back to bite you. So I feel like with this question, the less I say, the better to be, right? I don't want to just like say something about. I just think they're doing a good job. I think the coaches are working well together. I think moving Coach Gaddis to the receiver room is helping out. I think that all the coaches and all the moves and everything they've done is helping us, and it's for the betterment of our program.
And then you told us the losing streak is not going to impact the 26s and the 27s that you're getting here, and that's turned out to be absolutely true. Why is high school, building this program through the high school recruits so important, in the way you like to go about things?
I feel like there's one portal now, so everybody won't be able to do those things 2 times. At some point, everything will lock in, and it'll be the way it's supposed to. And then I just know I'm doing everything right, and I get to build a relationship with them, get them an opportunity to see. You also watch and see, you've seen 20 freshmen play last week. So why would you not want to come to the program where that many freshmen have a chance to play with, in my opinion, coming back next year, we're going to have the best quarterback in the country, right, of him being a chance to come here and play. And we're just going to compete, right? Like, we compete. Like, guys, at the end of the day, there's not a football game you can look out there and watch, maybe one, I'm not sure, where we didn't compete our butt off, right? Where then you can see, wow, if they had that spot, then it would have been a better outcome in the game, right? Like, I can't really say much about it because we lost all these games, and I'm gonna accept that because I'm the head coach and I've done those things. But when you watch us and you look at us, why would they not want to come? Like, I'm gonna still get one of the top players in the country. He's gonna come here. It's gonna be a couple of them come. We're gonna compete. They're gonna win next year. It's just what it is, right? But we got a big game ahead of us, in my opinion. One of the better teams in the country. One of the better head football coaches in the country. I can't wait to go out there and be able to compete against them, to just to give us that test to see how good we are, right? To see where my players are, to being able to go against one of the blue bloods in college football, to being able to go against one of the better head football coaches in college football. We get a chance to go out there and compete against them this week. And this is big for our program, right? This is big for our guys' confidence, for our culture, right? So I'm excited about going to play against Notre Dame this weekend because I think they're a really good football team, and I don't want to really look in the next year or the 26s, but I'm so excited y'all coming, and we're going to have a lot of fun when y'all get here.
Last question, Fran.
Notre Dame has shown the ability on offense to score on 20-yard plays, 30-yard plays. How are you looking to combat?
And don't forget 99-yard plays too. Yeah,
Right.
they could go the distance at any moment. How am I looking to do what?
Looking to combat that, slow that offense down.
We just got to tackle, right? We got to be able to tackle. You got to make open field tackles. I think open field tackles are going to be extremely important against the speed that they have, especially in the backfield with Love and Price being able to do that. Faison, who on the outside is good. Fields, them trying to throw it up to Pauling. I think Will Pauling is his name, number 2. He's a really good receiver also. He's dynamic. So we just got to open field tackle, but we just got to compete. Like, we get a chance to play against Notre Dame this weekend. We're not doing well as a program right now from a win-loss standpoint. At practice, we're doing extremely well. Everybody's having fun. But we get to go against, what, Notre Dame, like number 9 or something? 9 or 8, something like that. They number 9. We get to play against the number 9 team in the country this weekend, like against one of the better coaches in the country. So, like, I get to put myself up to test to see, Fran, you think you good? So go ahead. You get a chance to go compete against Coach Freeman, right? Coach Freeman has a lot of really good players. He's built the program up, got Notre Dame back where Notre Dame wants to be at, and I'm trying to follow that same thing right now. So I think this is a good test for us to be able to go out and play them, and then we get a chance to play them next year too, right? So like, it's pretty cool for us to be able to do it. So it's something that we'll be able to have, and we'll be able to talk about for the rest of our lives of what happened to us. So we get one game this year, and then we get one next year, and so I'm thankful to go play against them. I'm excited, just watch and see how we compete.
All right, thanks, Coach. Thanks,
Appreciate
everybody.
y'all.